All right. So, thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So, hello, everyone, and welcome to our third session of the free program management training. So, in this session, we will go through the program management standard, fifth edition. Okay. And I will show you step by step where you can get it from, how you can dive through it, what is the table of content, etc. All right. It's not a thick book. It's just, I think, around 250 or 260 pages. Okay. Um, Before that, before we dive into this, let me clarify probably a few points, and I will repeat those points towards the middle and the end of the session. So all of the sessions are being recorded. Now, this is really important for you to understand. Now, all the recordings, like the entire 24-hour course, all of the recordings will be shared in the companion at the end of the course. At the end of the course, okay? Only once we complete all the course, then we will share with you the entire um, videos, okay? Everyone is entitled for free access to the companion if they have already, filled the code in the form as shared in session one. If you haven't seen the code in session one or haven't joined session one, you can always go to the summary post I have shared on my LinkedIn profile, and in the slides of that summary post, or also in the video I have shared. Since I have shared the recording of session one on YouTube, in the video, you can find the code, you can fill out the form. The link to the form has been shared in that summary post of session one. So then you can prove that you really are interested in the program, you have joined the program. That filling out the form with the code correctly will allow you to have free access to watch the recordings, of the course, and even be entitled for the course completion or training completion certification. Okay, I will explain all of that once again when we reach the end of the training. Okay, so that's something I wanted to be sure that everyone understands. Now, once we, release the recordings of the companion, there will be also quizzes and mock exams, which can help you, take the exam. All right, but what you can get for sure for free as access is to the companion to earn your completion certification. That's for sure. Okay. Today, actually, one of my team members informed me that they have even updated two more courses. Actually, they have completed or uploaded two more courses of PgMP, which are really good ones. So also they have been added to the full exams list on the companion. Now, the second thing I want to check with you is, did you understand very well what was discussed in the first two sessions? Because it is really important for everyone to differentiate between the PMP certification and the PGMP certification, since here we're talking about a program management level, not a project management level. There are similarities. We will see that in this standard, but also there are big differences. You have to understand the difference between the role of a program manager and the role of a project manager. Also, you have to understand what the program manager focuses on versus what the project manager does. The PGMPA certification, almost in every question, I mean, at least in most questions, they will mention programs and projects. Okay, since programs are composed of projects, programs don't deliver outputs, projects do, but programs deliver value coming out of managing those components all together. Okay, you really have to understand this. Now, as you have all voted, we will go through the standard today together. But first of all, to those of you who don't know where to get the standard from, let me first of all clarify this. The standard on PMI's website is available to everyone who's got valid membership. Okay, so you simply need to purchase a membership on PMI's website. Okay, And then once you have the membership, because what I know for sure is most of the people who have the PMP certification, I think most of you guys with the PMP certification, or some of you already still have the valid membership. Okay, so that membership gets you to get the program management standard for free. But anyway, I have taken that into consideration, or I have taken into consideration that some people don't have valid membership or active membership, therefore they cannot download the standard. So what we do here is we will go through the standard together. So this video is going to be a good chance for you to have the standard summarized in a video. Now, where can you get the standard from on PMI's website? You log into your PMI's website. If you have a valid membership, you go to learning and then you go to global standards and publications, as I have shown you in session one. And then you just go here, the standard for program management, 5th edition. You click on learn more, and from there you can download the standard. It's available only in English language. It's not available in any other language, only in English. All right. But the exam, you can take it in other language, in another language, which is Chinese. So exam is available in two languages, but standard available only in one language, which is English. All right. But let me tell you this. If PMI will notice that there is an increase in the number of people interested in the PGMP certification, definitely they will translate it to other languages, such as Spanish, French, and other languages. All right. Now, once you have downloaded your standard, now you'll get this copy. Now, let me, no, first let me put, yeah, exactly. Let's go, let me just close it, maybe open it again from here. Exactly. So I just quickly go through the standard. The first part, reading the standard is important. One of you guys contacted or asked me today morning, what are the books I recommend to read in order to prepare for the PGMP certification? Well, honestly, it's just two things you need to read, or three. The ECO, which we have already covered, our presentation, which contains everything you need. Actually, our presentation is a summary of the program management. It's a good summary. It includes examples. It includes mock questions. So actually, we only need our presentation. But on the contrary, of the PMP training, where I don't insist on my students to read the PMBOK, but here for program management professionals, I recommend reading the program management standard. And also, if you have time, you can read the PMBOK in case you have never read it before. Okay, it will be good, to expand your perspective, your knowledge, and be, knowledgeable. Right? But if you don't have time for that, our presentation is very enough because anyway, you're using the same presentation that I have put together, and I passed my PGMP exam. All right, so now, as usual, it starts with a notice. Now let's go to the table of content. This is probably what you need to know very well. Okay, so what is the content of this standard? Now it doesn't have two parts like the PMBOK. Now the PMBOK has got two parts. It's got a standard part, okay, and then the PMBOK has got the guide part. But this here, it does not have a guide part. It's just a standard. Okay, it's not similar like the PMBOK. All right, so it's just standard. So first there is an introduction. It describes the purpose of the standard for program management. So it also explains what is a program, how to initiate a program, and the relationship among portfolios, programs, operations, and projects. And you will notice that many of this stuff we have already covered in our first two sessions. Then what is program management, the relationship among organizational strategy, program management, portfolio management, and operations management. Please look at this part here, the relationships among them. All right. It's very important to understand that the program is not a standalone. It always belongs to something, whether to a portfolio or to an organization's wide strategy, etc. All right. So this is where program management belongs. Then you have here the organizational business value, since now PMI's most dominant mindset in all the standards, in all the publications, in all the courses, in all the certifications is how to deliver and how to create and deliver business value out of anything, really out of anything, even that new more framework, okay? The more M-O-R-E, the M-O-R-E framework, it focuses a lot also on that. It actually enhances the mindset of, creating, delivering value, reassessing, engaging with stakeholders, etc. Then in the program, there is the role of the program manager, the competencies of the program manager. We will see them. All right. Then with the role of the program sponsor, the role of the program management office, and then distinction between programs and projects. All right. Distinction between them in terms of uncertainty, which we call risks in other terms, managing changes and complexity. All right. And then distinction between programs and portfolios. All right. And then we go to the principles. We saw the principles together the other day, the 8 principles. So we have stakeholders here. It's not too long, actually. We have benefits realization. We have synergy, to coordinate between all the different performance domains, etc. All right. The team of teams, okay? Change as a principle, leadership as a principle, risk as a principle, and governance as a principle, okay? I think we have covered these principles in a nutshell. And then now we go to the performance domains, okay? So you have okay, first it starts with definitions, then interactions, and then it starts with the performance domains. Now, strategic alignment, all right, as a first performance domain. So here it talks about the program business case, the program charter. You probably know that we have already covered this. Yes, we did. So actually, we did not want you to go through the entire book, so we have the presentation. Even though our presentation and the book are almost of the same size, our presentation is nearly 300 pages. This standard is almost 200, you can see here, 262 pages, okay? Including everything, actually, but just the content part is 247. So they're not that far away from each other, but remember, we try to summarize it for you. So as I said, so here then the program management plan, environmental assessments, program risk management strategy, interaction with program management principles and other program management performance domains. And this one here, the interactions with program management principles, the 8 principles, and the other program management performance domains, you will see this repeating with every performance domain. Then the other performance domain is benefits management. So identifying benefits, analyzing and planning benefits, delivering benefits, transitioning benefits, and sustaining benefits. And then the interaction with the other principles and performance domains. Again, that repeats. Then you have then stakeholder engagement, another another performance domain. So here you have identifying stakeholders, analyzing stakeholders, engaging and planning, or planning the engagement of the stakeholders, engaging the stakeholders. No, that's planning, and that's engaging, and then planning stakeholder communications, and then how this performance domain interacts with the program management principles and the other performance domains. Okay, and now by this we already reached page 108 in the standard. Okay, and then we have it's too far. It went too far here. Stakeholders. Okay, and now we go to governance. Then the next performance domain is governance. So, governance framework practices, the roles, setting up the governance, then governance framework design and implementation, and then how it interacts with the principles and the other performance domains. Then collaboration as a performance domain. So, what are the factors impacting program success? What are the, collaboration for benefits and value delivery planning? Quite an important one. Program components and activities collaboration collaboration, and then the interaction with principals and performance domains. And then the last performance domain is the cycle management. All right. So then we go through the three major phases in the life cycle of the program. And this is where 44% of the exam lies. Okay. Program definition phase, program delivery phase, and then the program closure phase. Okay, this is the life cycle management, and then here the interaction with the principals and the other performance domains. Okay, and then now it goes into the specific program activities for the next I think tens of pages. Integration management. So, what are the activities that happen in program integration? How are those activities mapped to the program life cycle? Then the definition phase activities, what happens in the definition phase here, because integration is the overall, integration of activities. Now it goes into the definition phase of the program. All right, how to formulate the those activities, how to plan, and then the delivery phase. So here we have definition, now the delivery phase. So you have the program delivery management, program performance management, then how to stay in benefits and how to transition them. Okay, and then managing changes in a program. Okay, exactly. Where is it? Where did it go back? Wait. All right, governance framework. Yeah, here, 4.3, exactly here. Then managing program communications, managing program financials, managing program information, managing program procurement, program quality assurance and control, program resource management, program risk management, program schedule management, and program scope management. Now, all of these scope, schedule, risk, resources, quality, assurance and control, procurement, information management, like knowledge management, information management, reporting, etc., transparency, financial management, communications, change management, sustainment, performance management, delivery management, all of that within this one phase called program delivery phase activities. Okay. Now, people who are PMP certified, they would say, I'm already acquainted with all of these terminologies. Exactly. Yes, you should be acquainted. You should know them. All right. This is not like in program management, or actually, let me say the other way around. When PMI updated the standard from version 4 to version 5, it actually started with this started with including its vision in that standard for program management. That same vision was later on also reflected on the PMBOK. So actually, PMI in the past 2 years has actually updated most of its publications and certifications, CAPM, PgMP, PMO, etc., etc. All right, and it's got and now just the Agile guide is I think coming soon by the end of this month. Then also the new standards for AI and stuff. So actually, PMI is reshaping the world of project management. PMI is focusing a lot on creating and delivering value, eliminating waste. Now, please let me focus on this. Creating, delivering value, eliminating waste. That is really important set of skills. PMI needs to, or wants to spread in all of its certifications and bodies of publications, or publications and bodies of knowledge. All right. So this is why you see a lot of this terminology is repeating, but now we're talking on a program level. When you say quality, it's a program level. All right. When we say risk is for program level, etc. So these are all of what you need to do, all the activities and the delivery. So you have now two phases you need to remember by heart. Definition phase of the program, all right? The program formulation, planning, all right? And then the delivery phase. We will see. There is a slide. We have seen it already in the training. I will remind you, and we will see it in a while in the guide, in the standard, sorry. And then we come to the closure phase. Now here you prepare for the program closeout. You do the financial closure. You archive all the information, all the documentation, all the reporting, and you transition. You hand over those documents to the, for example, or organizational process assets or knowledge bases, etc. Then, you do the closing of the procurement. Then you transition the resources or you release the resources, and also you transition any risk management. Because if your program components, and I repeat, by components we mean projects, they have delivered output. With that output you can transition risks in case operations or maintenance or productions, they need to be aware of them. All right, now you might be saying that you haven't seen that in PMP, that also risks are transitioned. Well, let me tell you this. Actually, in PMBOK 8, we do cover that, when we talk about handover and transition. So when we transition benefits, but also we transition sometimes resources, or we can transition even risks in case of any residual risks or simply ongoing risks. All right. So, even if the project is over, if the risks are not gone, then you can hand them over also to whoever you're handing over the deliverables or the output. All right. So then you have the list of appendix here. The program activities, tools and techniques. Program infrastructure development, change assessment, communication assessment, initial cost estimation, information management assessment, procurement assessment, quality assessment, resource requirements estimation, risk assessment, schedule assessment, scope assessment, change management planning, communication management planning, cost estimation. Then financial framework establishment, financial management planning, procurement management planning, quality management planning, resource management planning, risk management planning, schedule management planning, scope management planning, reporting, cost budgeting, and cost estimation. That's in Appendix 1. All right, some of them are templates you can use. For Appendix 2, you have here the changes about this 5th edition, its comparison with the previous versions. All right. And then, overview, then just an overview of the sections about the principles, performance domains, all of those performance domains. And then finally, just, the contributors and the reviewers. All right. So this is basically the table of content. Before I move on in this standard, I just want to tell you this. The table of content helps a lot whenever you read an important publication, because it helps you understand the structure in your mind. Now, if I would ask you, what are the 3 main things you need to remember from the standard? What you need to answer me is this: 8 principles, 6 performance domains, 3 phases. 8 principles, 6 performance domains, 3 phases. Now, principles, that means what program management is generally about, okay? But then performance domains is what you need to pay attention to. That's because that's actually your what you're going to be answering in the exam about. And then the 3 phases, that's when you go deep into the life cycle of the program. All right. All right. So now I'm going to go through major pages. All right. So guys, just please follow through. All right. Take notes and please. Also, I will give you time to take screenshots. I will be generous. All right. Now, I cannot promise, let me be honest with you. I cannot promise that I can provide you with a free version of the standard for program management, because it is password protected. And you can see this, you can see it's written down here. Wait, written down here. This standard is licensed to Ahmed bin Hamouda. License number is not for distribution, not for sale, not for reproduction. All right. But since I have the right to use it while teaching, all right, so actually what you can do is take a screenshot of whatever page you want. All right, it's really up to you. Now, do you need to take screenshots? It's really up to you, because anyway, in the presentation, we have everything you need. Remember, you will have, or you can have, or the presentation, the full presentation will be shared in the companion. Now, many people ask, when will we have access to the companion? Now, the companion is public. to everyone. It just now has got content for PMP. By the end of July, it will have the content for PGMP. We just need to finish this course so we can publish the videos for you. All right. So that's it. Really, that's it. All right. Good. All right, so now here is an introduction. Then just I'm going to skip this introduction. So here it starts with what is this? What is the program? And we already saw that it's related projects, subsidiary programs, and activities, all managed together in coordinated manner to obtain benefits that are not possible to be obtained if all of these components are managed individually. So you really have to understand this, okay? All right. So managing that as a program enhances delivery of benefits and ensures alignment. All right. Then I go to next here the terminology that I have been repeating a lot: components. The components means projects, subsidiary programs, and any other related activities conducted to support a program. So you have to know this word really, what components mean, because components in program management is not the same as components in project. All right. But just one small remark. This definition is old. All right. So it says projects are temporary endeavors undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result as described fully in the PMBOK guide. Okay. But this is old because this standard was published 2024, but PMBOK was published, let's say, at the end of 2025. Okay, and it contains the new definition of a project, which is a temporary initiative in a unique context undertaken to create value or to deliver value. All right. So that just this has changed, and this is why I wanted one of the reasons I wanted to go with you through this standard. Okay. Um, Now, subsidiary programs are programs sponsored and conducted to pursue a subset goals and benefits important to the primary program. All right. So, and then it gives you here examples and what does other program related activities. Now, let me answer a question. One of you just put in the chat, and I cannot see the chat, but I'm just assuming that there is such a question. Is it worth it to read every single word? Now, let me probably give you a different perspective. A book of 260 pages like this one. Don't you think that an organization as big, as famous, as reputable as PMI wouldn't care for every word put in this standard or any other standard or guide? Of course they would. They would care. So they don't put, just incorrect things or unnecessary things. They will definitely put everything what is necessary, what makes sense, what is valuable. So is it worth it to read it? For me, yes, I did it. I read every single word of it. Okay, when I was preparing for my PGMP, was it? Did I benefit from that? Yes, I really think it was important. So I definitely enjoyed it, and I definitely took a lot of notes. Really, I mean, if I, it was 1 year ago almost. Yeah, actually, almost 1 year ago. And if I, go back to all of those notes, they were thick. They were really big and huge. I don't even remember if I have them here, probably. PGMP. Let me see. PGMP. Let me. Yes, here. 8 project management principles. So I've put the principle. Oh, yeah, these are my notes, guys. These are my notes. Now I remember the 8 principles, the 6 performance domains. This is from 1 year ago, actually, really. This is from 1 year ago. So I've put the summary. I've created the summary of each bullet, each principle, what it means. And what's written here is not my summary. These are actually sentences taken from the guide, from the standard. All right. So I put there stakeholders they exploit benefits gained through synergies and mitigate disruptions caused by stakeholder conflicts. For benefits realization, benefits realized should justify the use of invested resources and should be transitioned to ongoing operations. Let me put that back to the line. Okay. Transition work is part of the scope of the program. Synergy, align the program components with program management plan, optimize the whole of the program, including the creation of new components, cancellation of components in order to optimize the realization of objectives. Team of teams, a network of teams that is connected vertically and horizontally to create a network relationship across products and processes. Change, manage program change to improve effectiveness and efficiency of benefits realization, delivery, and sustainment during the program lifecycle and after its transition to an operations to an organization's operations. Wait, guys, these notes here, I did not write them from my head. I was reading the standard 1 year ago. And then, for example, for the principle of change. So I read those 1.5 pages about the change, and then I took the most, I took the most important sentence from each one. All right. So I always want to have short summaries. How long are these notes? Oh, these are quite good notes. Look, really, if you want to have these notes, just you know what, I can make it easy with you guys, for you guys. I'm going to share the video. I'm going to share the video of this session with you guys. All right. Definitely, I'm going to go through the notes here because I don't remember what I wrote 1 year ago, but it's worth going through that together if you want. Okay. And if any one of you would want to receive these notes, you probably can tomorrow comment on my LinkedIn in that summary post I will share tomorrow. All right, you can comment and by please share the notes with us, and each one of you will receive a copy, or I will share a link with each one of you, etc. So really, these are my notes from 1 year ago. All right. And I think they're pretty important. This is what I think. They're pretty important because I did not write them from the top of my head. I was copying sentences from the guide. So change, we saw that manage program change to improve effectiveness and efficiency of benefits realization, delivery, and sustainment during the program lifecycle and after its transition to an organization's operations. Leadership, so program leadership includes leading a program team, engaging senior leadership, integrating program work, connecting cross-functional interdependencies, proactively identifying risks, and fully realizing program benefits. Risk, so proactively manage program risks and ensure the program risk threshold is aligned with the organization's risk appetite. And governance, program governance ensures the program is managed appropriately and adheres to the governance practice of the organizational portfolio. Governance should be right-sized for the needs of the program. So this is a summary of the 8 program management principles from the book. Okay. Then the 6 program management performance domains. We have strategic alignment, identifies program outputs and outcomes to provide benefits aligned with the organizational strategy goal and objectives during the initiation phase of a program. Program business case, program charter, program management plan, environmental assessments, program risk management strategy. All right. So all of these are components or parts of the strategic alignment. Benefits management, so identify, analyze, and plan, deliver, transition, sustain the benefits provided by the program. And this is really some of the most important knowledge you can get, from PMI in any certification. Always how to identify, analyze, plan, deliver, transition, and sustain the benefits provided by a project, by a program, by any initiative, actually. All right. This is really such an important sentence. Stakeholder engagement identifies and analyzes stakeholder needs and manages expectations and communications to foster stakeholder support. Governance framework enables and performs program decision making, establishes practices to support the program, maintains program oversight, and ensures compliance with the standards and regulations. Again, I repeat, I was reading the standard and I was copying the most important sentences from each paragraph. Really, I was doing like this. For example, if I think this is an important sentence, I was doing, like this, copy it and paste it in this notepad. All right. And then where did we stop? Strategic alignment. benefits, stakeholder engagement, identifies, okay, I think we saw this, governance, yes, collaboration, creates and maintains synergy across stakeholders, both internal and external stakeholders, all right? Because program management focuses a lot on internal stakeholders, but also it includes external ones to optimize benefits delivery and realization. And then life cycle management manages the program life cycle and the three phases required to facilitate program definition. This is phase one, program delivery. By the way, definition includes planning, all right? You really have to understand this. Planning is included in definition, as we saw earlier in the table of content. Delivery as a phase, and then closure, all right? So if you want, I can even do like this, to make it easier for you to follow through. All right, so phase one, that's phase one. Delivery is phase two, all right? And then closure is phase three. All right, this is phase three. Program definition phase, program delivery phase, program closure phase. I think I don't need to repeat this. It's already here. All right. And then, guys, and then let me tell you what are these notes, because now I remember what these notes are. Let me go down. Yeah. These notes down here are the most important sentences that I was copying from the entire uh, standard. All right? Fine. Okay. So, for example, all of these notes, they're like instead of writing them with my own hands, I remember I was copying them, and only in few of them I was adding something from my own understanding. Like program components, which are projects, subprograms, program activities. These are the program components. Programs may be either ongoing or temporary. Okay, so this is such an important sentence. So what I did is I was trying to summarize the standard in these 40 bullets. If I'm not mistaken, these are 40 bullets. Okay, so I'm going to go through them. Okay, if you don't mind, it will take just 20 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes. And then please, I will let me know, really let me know tomorrow in the summary post if you would like to receive the summary notes in case you think they are valuable. I'm going to read them for you anyway. If you guys think they're valuable, I can share them with you so you can download them and then have them. So we explain what program components are, and remember, programs may be either ongoing or temporary. Now, provide support and guidance to project managers and other program managers. This is what you do as a program manager. All right. You provide support and guidance, especially on the how to achieve the program's benefits. Ensure the program's continued alignment with organizational strategy and ongoing organizational support. Both you align and you get support. All right. Or you support the organization's realization of benefits. The project management methodology is set by the program management office. Is this a surprise for you? Uh, for some of you, yes. Some of you would say, wow, I thought we set our, I'm talking about project managers now. Some project managers would say, I thought we set our own project management methodology. Very good point. I will explain this. Now, when we studied project management, we studied also, I mean, in version 8, a system for value delivery. And we saw that a project can be standalone and can belong to a program, can be both. Now, in all or in most standalone projects, the project manager chooses the approach they think fits best the needs of the project. Okay, which makes sense, which is valid. It's obvious. It's clear. All right, that makes sense. Now, when the project is part of a program, now that means these projects will be synchronized, or they are connected. So they will be watched after by the program management and the program management office. So usually the program management office, they tend to set the project management approach, okay? If I would say methodology slash approach, all right? For the projects, so they can, follow through, okay? This is from the PMBOK guide, all right? From PMBOK guide, sorry, from the program, from the program management. This is from the standard, the program management standard. Optimum utilization of common resources between the program components to achieve maximum efficiency and effectiveness. So the program manager must ensure optimum utilization of common resources utilization, all right, in order to be efficient and effective, because some resources can be shared among the different program components. Okay, support the benefits. The program manager should, let me probably write anyway, you will understand it. The program manager should support the benefits realization process throughout the program's life cycle. The program manager owns the overall success of the program on behalf of the organization and its management or its leadership. Okay, let me write there, management/leadership, so you know that we're talking about C-level or C-suite. Also providing an integrated view of how the outcomes of program components will support the program's intended delivery of organizational benefits. That's what you need to do as a program manager. All right. So you need to ensure that your stakeholders and your component leaders, they all have this understanding of how the outcomes of the different program components will support the intended delivery of benefits. The program manager should ensure the continuous alignment of the program components, component plans, like the project plans, okay, the different project plans, with the program's goals and pursuit of organizational benefits. And in the PgMP certification exam, in certain questions, you will see that a project actually is going through a change. There is a change request in a project. That change request would impact the other components and even would impact the overall program expected benefits. All right, the planned benefits. So, and the question would be, what should the project manager do or the program manager do here? So we have to know how to understand the impact of any change on the program. The program steering committee should act as a program sponsor, should only be done on a limited time basis. Now, what does that mean? It means the sponsor and the steering committee, they're different. Now, in case the sponsor is not available, the steering committee will act as the sponsor, but on limited time basis. Again, this is from the standard. Like, for example, let me copy this. All right. Let me search for it here. We're on page 6. So let me search for it here and let me search. All right. See, it's written here. While it is possible for the program steering committee to act as a program sponsor, this should be only done on a limited time basis, period. You see? So what I did is I copied that and I put it here as a note. All right. So just for you to understand, actually, these were my notes from 1 year ago. Programs, they focus on delivering benefits, not products. So important. So I probably should have put this as second bullet, to be honest. All right. Because it's so important, since many project managers confuse between what a program is supposed to deliver and what a project is supposed to deliver. All right. All right. So, what was it? Yeah. At the program level, due to greater management authority and a wider vision, uncertainty may be embraced more as a tool to drive opportunities or to find ways, and available at project level to avoid or mitigate risks and the associated uncertainties. Change within a program affects delivery of the intended benefits at the strategic and tactical level. So that's why any change within the program should be well studied and analyzed, because it can impact the delivery of intended benefits and strategic and tactical level. Program managers can create new components or work with the sponsor of the program, other management leaders, or change control board to create or cancel components. All right. Now, I think in the PgMP exam, there are, I think, 3 questions or around 3 questions about creating or canceling components. Like, can you, as a program manager, create a project? Can you create a project? Here it says you can create a new project, or you can work or collaborate with a sponsor, management, or change control board, so you can create or cancel components. All right. Link between portfolio is strategic, project is tactical. So the program is in between, okay? Is between the strategic and the tactical, all right? Or the operational. The projects are called operational, but now we call them tactical, not to confuse them with operations, all right? Program artifacts. Now, what are the program artifacts? Business case, benefits realization plan, the program charters or the component charters, all right? Even the project charters are called program artifacts. The program management plans, the program roadmap, all right? All of these are called artifacts. Any benefits realization artifacts should be periodically verified for alignment with organizational strategy, which means if you have a program running for, let's say, 6 years, in 2026, you're managing a program which started in 2020. It's not possible to, accept the artifacts as is from 6 years ago, right? So actually, they should be updated to reflect, what's been going on in the program during these 6 years. Benefits realization requires balancing risk across the program to achieve the program's overall benefits, but not necessarily reduce the threat to individual program components. All right. So what does that mean? So in order to realize the benefits, the risks should be balanced across the program in order to, achieve the overall benefits. And not, just simply assign the threat to a single component. Okay, there should be a balance. So if a project is so threatful or so threatening, so threatening to the overall program, you have to deal with that project. But if there is an overall threat, then it should be balanced across the components of the program. Program teams can manage and maintain an integrated schedule of components to structure program components from initiation to strategic objective realization. The program manager frequently acts as the proposer when seeking authorization for the initiation of a new project. Okay? Outcomes at the project level, benefits at the program level, and value at portfolio level. This is so important, this sentence. Projects give outcomes. Programs give benefits. Value are at portfolio level. All right, so please remember this. Again, all of this is from the standard. The program manager leads the team of teams responsible for achieving program objectives. Enterprise Project Management Office, okay, EPMO. They facilitate organizational change management at all levels. Change management at the program level is strategic and affects the delivery of intended benefits. So you also need to know a little bit of EPMO, all right? And we saw also the Program Management Office. We saw here, see the Program Management Office, we saw it here, and now here we have also the Enterprise Project Management Offices. It is important to empower component managers, which means project managers in other terms, since most of the components are actually projects, okay? With the autonomy to lead their project teams. The less the program manager intervenes in the component projects, the better the leadership effect and the higher the component project team's morale, which means you as a program manager, you should let the project manager lead their project teams. All right. Now this is really, really, really important. Program managers should be politically sensible by showing sensitivity to the interests of the most powerful and influential program stakeholders and demonstrating good judgment by acting with integrity. A key aspect of governance is establishing a framework within which the lines of authority are clear, the responsibility and accountability of each position defined, and the levels of decision-making structured. In the strategic alignment process, the program business case serves as an input to the program charter and subsequently the program management plan. All right. So this we saw already in session 1. Program business case is an input to the program charter. And also then it's an input to the program management plan. The program management plan and all this stuff, we will see them starting next session, session number 4. All right. By the way, guys, By the way, session number 8, I told you, I think it will be an exam session. I mean, we will go through nearly 60 questions from the PGMP exam. And those 60 questions, they're going to be the best 60 questions. Most of you will see very, very similar questions in the real exam. Session number 8. Organizations build a strategy to define how their vision should be achieved. All right. Since as a program manager, you need to understand the strategy and the vision. The program manager collaborates with key sponsors and stakeholders to develop the business case. So you see here, the program manager collaborates with the key sponsors and stakeholders to develop the business case. Not like in project management, where project manager does not get involved in business case in most of the time. All right. But here, program manager, no, actually, they do get involved, which describes success criteria. So the business case describes success criteria to be maintained throughout the program. The program sponsor is the individual responsible for allocating organizational resources to the program and for program success. So similar in project management, the sponsor allocates the resources. All right. All right. It's here. So the sponsor is the individual responsible for allocating resources. Any expenditure outside of the approved business case is a deviation from the strategy and represents misalignment, and it is the role of the governance framework performance domain to ensure such deviation does not occur. So even in programs, PMI does not encourage overspending or deviating from the budget, the approved budget. Okay, so any expenditure outside of the approved business case is a deviation from the strategy, and this is a misalignment. The reason behind that, programs are large, are big, are long, so you can imagine how many deviations there will be. Therefore, to get a program to finish line within the agreed budget, that requires a lot of focus and attention and strong control from the governance. See here, from the governance framework performance domain, strong governance skills in order to ensure that the program stays within the approved limits, financial limits. The program steering committee or designated body authorizes the program management team by means of the program charter. So the program charter authorizes the program management team to assign and authorize a program manager and define the scope and purpose of the proposed program presented to the governance authority to obtain approval, funding, and authorization. Now, probably some of you, through these notes, has already noticed that there are many similarities with the projects, but at the same time, there are differences. And yes, all right. So there are differences to be considered. The program roadmap represents the program's intended direction, dependencies between major milestones and decision points, and reflecting the linkage between the organizational strategy and the program work. And it is part of the program management plan, which is a valuable tool for assessing a program's progress toward achieving its expected benefits. But all right, now let me explain this sentence here. This sentence here, you cannot find it in the standard by itself. Actually, this sentence, what I did is I took one part from one page, then I was reading through, and then I found another part which links to this roadmap and program management plan. So I was adding it here. So long sentences, they're usually composed of different parts from different pages. All right. So this is why this sentence is long. It is very crucial to have risk management strategy that ensures effective management of any risk, including not exceeding thresholds that can cause the program to be out of alignment with organizational strategy. A robust program risk management strategy comprises a specific risk response strategy for each of the risk rating levels that have been developed to reflect the program's risk thresholds. By the way, you will notice that most of the certifications from PMI, they give great attention to risk management. Why? because the biggest enemy or the biggest threat to value creation and value delivery is risks. All right. So whenever you spot a risk, whether it's individual risk or a project overall risk, whether it's technical risk or managerial risk or any type of risks, you need to understand what is the impact of that risk on the value we intend to deliver. All right. That is really important. That's why, you see, when you don't deliver value, the sponsor would ask you, why didn't you deliver value? Now, if we want to apply the 5 whys root cause analysis technique, now you did not deliver value. So why didn't you deliver value? Well, we had issues. And why did we have issues? Well, there are events that we did not pay attention to, or we did not identify early, or we did not manage properly. And why did you manage them properly or identify them early? Because we did not have a risk management process in place. For example, now I go back to the original reason. The absence of proper risk management process let issues or let issue threats. It has allowed the threats to become issues, and those issues blocked or impacted or affected the realization of value. All right. So maybe some of you would say, no, sometimes we don't deliver value because of changes. Do you know that whenever there's a change, we do a change assessment, change impact assessment. So yes, we do that. So if you did not do a proper assessment, a correct one, then that all goes back to one of key two reasons for not delivering value, which is one of them is poor risk management. Okay, benefits management is an iterative process. Now, this is really, I remember, when I was writing this a year ago, I remember how this repeated many times. Okay, so if I would copy this, let me see where this is written in the standard, if you don't mind. Let me see if it's written per letter like this, or no. Let's see. Maybe it was written oh, yeah, I know. Maybe this one because of this one. Yeah, here it is. Because there was a dash. There was a dash, okay? Benefits management is an iterative process. So you see, it's here. Benefits analysis and planning and benefits delivery are the cyclical relationship. Benefits analysis and planning may be continuously revisited as conditions change. So any corrective actions may need to be taken in response to information gained from monitoring the organizational environment. Components may have to be modified in order to maintain alignment of the expected program results with the organization's strategic objectives. All right. So let me check if there are any graphs. No, there are no graphs. But you see, I try to copy such important sentence. So each benefit should have an associated beneficiary. So we need to know who requested such a benefit and who is receiving the benefit. Benefits may not be realized until the completion of the program or well after completion. So maybe even when, even after end of a program, maybe we wouldn't notice, we wouldn't realize the benefits, but well after the completion of the program. And they may continue to be realized even after the program's closure. All right. Really, you need to understand all of these notes. Guys, let me tell you this. Really. I need you to remember this. When I was writing all of these notes from the standard, going through the standard sentence by sentence, line by line, because I have experience, from the PMP, I have experience as a program manager. So I wanted to write down every single sentence that I know is important. And then when I took the exam, I remember telling myself, wow, that's good. It's really good that I wrote down those notes. Because you know what I did? On the night of the exam, I only went through these notes. I did not go through any presentation, or did not go through any standard, or did not go through any mock exams. I only went through these notes. These notes really, if you read them 3-4 times across a period of 1 month. So, for example, you read these notes twice a week over a period of a month. Okay, together with our presentation, together with at least the first two mock exams, we have the companion. You're going to be perfect. You're going to be perfect. You're going to score high. Program costs can also continue after program and as operational costs. So you see what I did is I was copying key sentences and trying to, group the notes together. All right, notes that are kind of related. So, for example, right, put this here. No, what's wrong? Why? No, not what's wrong. Oh, and probably let's maybe I summarize it somehow. So okay, so obviously this is summary. This is something I summarized. Probably I took a full sentence, and then I summarized it. Benefits are recorded in benefits register. Remember this, and can be generated incrementally during the program, and should be sustained. Comma, and the ROI should fund future program benefits and outcome. All right. So benefits recorded in benefits register, they can be generated incrementally, and this is what PMI prefers: incremental generation of benefits during the program, and they should be sustained. And then any return on investment should fund future program benefits and outcomes. Okay, because anyway, the program is making ROI, return on investment. Each program benefit should be assigned at a risk probability. Very important, because now you're assuming you're going to make a benefit. You have to, create a risk and a risk note, a risk score for that benefit in case it will not be. What's the probability of achieving such benefit? Okay, probability. Or probability of not achieving the benefit, 10%, 5%, 50%, depends on the threshold. Now, if the threshold is 5%, so any threat related to a benefit exceeding that threshold of 5% or 10%, whatever percent, that should be, reconsidered. The benefit should be reconsidered and check, why, if we can deal with such a risk, or we probably should, revisit the benefits register. The register, the benefits register. All right. Let me add it here. So in case I would be sharing these notes with any one of you, at least, I give them a better version. The benefits register is then reviewed by key stakeholders to develop the appropriate performance quantitative measures for each of the benefits. So how are we going to measure each benefit quantitatively to know whether we have achieved those benefits or not? For a benefit to have value, it needs to be realized and described in the benefits management plan. All right? And in a timely manner. Ongoing sustainment of program benefits should be planned by the program manager and the component project managers during the performance of the program, and usually take the form of operations. All right. Let me repeat this. Ongoing sustainment of program benefits, they should be planned by the program manager and the component project managers during the performance of the program. Okay. And usually they take the form of operations, like the sustainment of benefits, they're sustained through operations. All right. Interactions between performance domains are cyclical in nature. All right. So we will see that, in one of the pages on the standard, and generally begin top down during early phases of the program and bottom up in later phases. All right. The interaction. So we start from above, from the higher level plans at the beginning, and then from the bottom level plans at the end. Stakeholders should be identified, understood, analyzed, prioritized, engaged, and monitored. Monitored in terms of engagement. Let me add this: in terms of engagement. We don't monitor people, we monitor engagement. Not all stakeholders can be managed directly, but their expectations can be. So you don't probably need to manage all stakeholders directly, but you should manage the expectations directly, okay? The primary objective of stakeholder engagement is to gain and maintain stakeholder acceptance for the project, for the program's objectives, benefits, and outcome, all right? So all stakeholders should accept the objectives, benefits, and outcomes of the program. Program steering committee may be referred to as the program governance board. And this is also what's happening now in project management. I told you this. Those who just joined us right now in the session, let me put you in the context. So today is the session we will go through the standard for program management. And now what I'm doing here is really, I did not plan for this. By the way, before this session, I really did not plan to go through my notes from the time when I was summarizing the standard, because I have these notes in which I have summarized the standard in this notepad. And really, before starting, when I was preparing for today's session, I did not plan to open those notes. Just in the first 10 minutes, I remembered that I have those notes. Or I remember I have written my notes, those notes. I was not sure whether I really still have them or not. But then when I opened my my internal documents, I found those notes. So I told the guys, if anyone is interested, just comment tomorrow on the summary post, and I will be sharing the notes with you directly. All right. Questionnaires and surveys allow the program team to solicit feedback from a greater number of stakeholders through open-ended questions. Okay, when you ask open-ended questions, you help you help orient the answers. You give the answers some direction or direct the answers. The guidelines for stakeholder engagement should be provided by the component, should be provided to the component projects, subsidiary programs, and other program activities, okay? Because anyway, stakeholders on projects, they're also considered program stakeholders. Relevant program communications should be recorded and stored as continuous process by program manager. By program communications, we mean meetings, reporting formats, shared information, etc. Each program's governance frameworks, functions, and processes are summarized in a program governance plan, which may be a standalone document or a subsection of the program management plan, and it demonstrates that the program is conforming to established governance expectations and agreements. All right. So the program's governance, okay, it can be a standalone document, or it could be of the program management plan. All right. The governance framework facilitates program funding to the degree necessary to support the approved business case. Okay. So the governance puts the rules for funding. Often performed at the component level and is therefore governed at that level. Why? Because only components deliver outputs. Quality is related to outputs. Okay. So, for example, in projects, we talk about quality of deliverables. All right. Since programs don't deliver outputs like products or services, projects do that, and projects are called components in a program. And therefore, quality management planning is often performed at the component level, which means at the project level, and governed at that level. Okay. The extent to which a change can be authorized by the program steering committee is bounded by the program business case and organizational strategy. All right. So any change should be aligned with the business case and the organizational strategy. I mean, any change within the program. Program steering committees may include senior leaders from the functional groups responsible for supporting significant elements of the program, and this will improve the likelihood that the governance activities will be well positioned to efficiently address issues or questions that may arise during the performance of a program. All right. So the steering committees, they include senior leaders from the functional groups responsible for supporting any significant elements of the program in order to make sure the governance activities are well positioned to address any issues effectively. The governance framework must comply with local, state, and national laws regarding competition, conflicts of interest, and procurement procedures. So we take into consideration that in the governance framework. Governance practices may differ depending on the sector or industry that the organization belongs to. All right. So not for every program we will have the same governance. Okay, governance they can be impacted by the industry or the national laws, etc. Collaboration at the program level is different and more complex than at the project level because making decisions depends on generating the right levels of synergy. Since at the project level, the project manager coordinates only among the resources, but at the program level, the program manager must create a synergy and collaboration with the teams of teams across the different program components, which are the program projects, other projects. Program teams should always prioritize strategic alignment across the program's life cycle and prevent any single outcome from becoming the focus. Okay. So not focusing on only one outcome, but rather on the strategic alignment. The right decisions should be made at the right times. Okay, which is only possible when the right parties are consulted for the right information at the right times. The program manager should control the level of collaboration among teams and stakeholders at required levels. I want to check out of curiosity if this sentence is literally in the standard list. Yes, here it is. Consultation. An important factor that is essential to effective collaboration is consultation. Consultation is driven by the program management principles of leadership and stakeholders. Because collaboration requires information exchange among multiple parties, it is important to access program stakeholders and partners for the right information when needed. Consultation has a direct impact on the timing of the collaborative process because it directly impacts the decision-making process. The right decisions should be made at the right times, which is only possible when the right parties are consulted for the right information at the right times. Okay? Which is only, okay, this we saw. The program manager should control the level of collaboration among teams and stakeholders at required levels. The program manager is responsible for balancing the individual demands from the project managers and goals of the respective components against the overall demand of the program. Sometimes the project managers demand conflicting, or they have conflicting demands with the program's view or the program's objectives. Okay, so the program manager then is responsible for balancing these individual demands with the overall demands of the program. Strong partnerships are the backbone of realizing program benefits. Okay, let me copy this sentence. This is what you probably can do actually. When you get these notes from me, okay, these summary notes from the standard, you can also copy them because it can take you directly to the sentence. Let me check if this is here. Not per se, but I'm sure of realizing. Let me just validate. Okay, I can do whole words only, case and include page text. Okay. Actually, what I can do is backbone of realizing. Let's see. And remove the point. Oh, okay. So that was something that I reformatted myself. The phases executed within the program lifecycle typically begin before funding is approved or when the program manager is assigned. Programs often span long durations, multiple years, and in some cases, decades. Okay, that's from the guide. Program definition phase and program delivery phase may be repeated throughout the life cycle of the program because of any redefinition, okay, or because delivery activities have not been completed. So there are multiple activities in the delivery that repeat again and again. Program definition contains two subphases: program formulation and program planning. Okay, program. Now this is really important. We're gonna see this, I think, in session 5, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So program definition contains two subphases: formulation, like the charter, etc., the official formulation, and then the program planning. All right, setting the plans for the program. The program manager is selected and assigned during program formulation. See, so just for you to understand when the program manager is assigned, it is similar to project management when the project manager is assigned during project initiation. Project initiation is the equivalent of program formulation. So we don't say initiation in program, we say formulation. All right. So that will help you understand when the program manager is assigned. Programs often have a significant level of uncertainty, and the full suite of program components may not be known. Like you wouldn't be able to know how many components will there be in a program, because some projects can be defined early, some projects not. So the program manager needs to use the concept of progressive elaboration or iterations to allow for adaptations as the program is executed and components are progressed following these subphases. So, if in case not all of the projects within the program are defined, then they will be defined iteratively. Okay, and the program is executed and components are progressed following the sub phases: component authorization and planning of the project, component oversight and integration, and then component transition and closure. Yes, these are important parts we will see in the program life cycle, so we can understand for example, we saw just here that program formulation, the program definition contains two subphases: program formulation and program planning. And then, creating or there are subphases for identification of program components, which is component authorization and planning. That's like the project authorization and planning, component oversight and integration, and component transition and closure. These are subphases. Also, you need to remember. There might be cases where the program manager may initiate a new component to consolidate the integration efforts of multiple components deliveries, so the benefits can be realized. Like, for example, you have 7 projects within a program. Each program delivered deliverables, but then value cannot be achieved, all right, unless if those deliverables are grouped together. I remember that I went through such a case several times. I remember this project I was managing in Switzerland, where there were, I think, I don't remember the number, maybe 8, maybe 12 components. I mean program components. I mean projects. Each project was delivering a part, and then only when those components deliverables were grouped together, and grouping them happened through a project, and it was called integration project, because we needed to integrate all of those components into one single major product. Then we could achieve the benefits and redefine the priorities of existing program components. All right. I did not say that the program is delivering deliverables, but rather having a project to consolidate all of those deliverables into one major deliverable, so then we can achieve program benefits. Once the transitioning phases are completed, the program manager receives approval from the portfolio management body or the governance body to formally close the program. Program performance reports include a summary of the progress of all program components. Program master schedule, this is the overall plan of the program master schedule, includes benefits realization milestones and is impacted by change requests. So since program delivers benefits, doesn't deliver deliverables or output, it delivers benefits. So in the program master schedule, the milestones represent when benefits will be realized. This is so important, this sentence, really so important. Program financial transition is complete once sustainment budgets are developed benefits are delivered, and sustainment has commenced. So program financial transition. So whatever financial documents or any remaining budgets, etc., is complete only when sustainment budgets are developed, benefits delivered, and sustainment has commenced. This is part of program closeout. Financial framework establishment usually occurs during the program formulation subphase. That's when during program formulation, that's when the financial framework is established. Calculating the full life cycle costs, including transition and sustainment costs, results in the total cost of ownership, right? And the last note is two important parts of the program budget are program payment schedules, like the funding, and the component payment schedules. These are the project's contractual obligations. These are summary notes of most what's in the standard for program management, 5th edition. So we start with the principles, the 8 principles, the 6 performance domains, and then the summary, and then the summary notes. All right. Let me just quickly go back, if you don't mind, guys. Let me just quickly go back to the table of content, just to be sure that we have covered everything in those notes. So in case you would want to receive them, these are basic definitions we saw already, we covered. Everything here is covered. Then the principles, the 8 principles, they're summarized. Then the performance domains, they're also summarized. And then those notes, actually, they are linked to those performance domains, okay? Those notes are directly linked to performance domains, especially the life cycle, And then a lot of the stuff coming from the activities, all right? A lot of those notes are coming from these different activities, as you probably have noticed, okay? And then until we reach the closure. Yeah, I think that was it. So guys, tomorrow in the summary post, let me know in the comment and tomorrow on that LinkedIn post if you would be interested in receiving these notes, and I'll be sharing them with you guys. All right? All right, good. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm going probably to give you a break of 15 minutes. Please don't quit. Don't quit Teams. Don't leave. Stay with us. So we saw this. What is a program? We saw these components, primary purpose. So let's continue, guys. Let's continue. Now, what I suggest, when you have your standard, when you get your copy of the standard, let me get this a little bigger. Now, I suggest that you have this, what we call the bookmarks and the PDF. You have the bookmarks here on the side, because these bookmarks will help you know where you are in the PDF and will help you, figure out the entire picture. Now, since so for example, when we are scrolling through the different pages, okay, you can see that the bookmarks highlighting, it changes. It was here in introduction. Now this orange highlighting now is here in section 1.2.2, and then the further down you go, the highlighting changes. See, now the orange one is in the organizational business value, and then if you click on any one of them, all right, then it changes, um, this is my recommendation to you when you go through this PDF. Have the bookmark activated on a side, so then you can follow through, because it will help. You can even minimize the sections, okay, or you can expand the sections. Like you can minimize them, you can expand them, okay. It helps you follow through where you are exactly. So, for example, here you are in the introduction, then you can expand this section so you can see what are the components. You can expand these sections further here. You can close all these sections. You can have them just, by major. I know I can close all of these by major titles. All right. You can have them all by major, so we don't need the appendix. Okay, well, you can have a look at them, but then, have introduction, the program management principles, the program management performance domains, you see, and then the program activities, and then the appendix. And here you have the major activities: integration, definition, delivery, and closure. And these are the three phases, and then you can expand each one of them. See, let me tell you, because this session is about learning how to read this standard. You need to map. Really, I strongly insist on mapping the standard in your mind, because when my team were preparing the presentation, I asked them to follow the standard. I asked my team to follow exactly how the standard goes, follow the standard. All right. Anyway, it is supposed to be a coherent way of learning. So, for example, the principles, you're not going to get questions about principles. You're not going to see a question in the PgMP exam asking you about what is the following principle about. No, you don't see that. The principles and the performance domains, they're all integrated into the program activities. Okay, but you need to know what are the program domains. You need to know, what strategic alignment is about, benefits management, stakeholder engagement, etc., etc. The same, you need to know what the principles are about. All right. Stakeholders, benefits realization, synergy, team of teams, etc., etc. So if I were you, I would have this bookmark activated so I can follow through, easily. And each time I read this program, the standard for program management, I would be able to know where am I exactly. All right. And then, one of the things I will focus on today is the program activities, even though we're going to cover them in our presentation, right? But it's really important to remind you and explain to you all these program activities before we see more details about them in our presentation. But, you can combine these program activities together with this program life cycle. Since the program activities, they will describe what happens in the definition phase here. So I expand this a little bit based on your request. All right. So what happens during this definition phase? So what happens during the program formulation, and then the program planning activities. And remember, just the program formulation itself, and the program activities, in each one of them, there is a number of activities happening. And again, remember, some of these activities are actually iterative, so they repeat. So there is the major phases. Program definition is a major phase, but there are sub phases, like the program formulation sub phase, the program planning sub phase. And then there is the program delivery. Here, the components are authorized. So only in program delivery can a project be initiated. Okay. And they're being planned. Then the component oversight and integration. Okay, oversighting the components by the program manager, and then integrating whatever outputs being or outcomes being delivered out of that program. And then component transition, in case we transition any deliverables to operations. Okay, and then component closure, and then you iterate in case you need to create any additional components. And then you have the program closure with program transition, support closeout, and archiving appropriate artifacts. We already saw this in the last session, but then it's very good if you whenever going through this program activities. I think this is the longest part, the program activities. Try to have this representative life cycle of the program in front of you, and try to map whatever you go through here. Okay, program change management, how it happens, program financials or financial management, how it happens, risk management, quality assurance and control, how all of that happens, okay, and how can you map it inside of this large and big program life cycle, all right? So if we click on program delivery phase activities, all right, so let us, you know, enlarge this a little bit for you guys. So here we have the interaction between the program delivery phase activities. All right. So we have the supporting program activities, which we have already mentioned. So they're mentioned all of them one by one here, from change management to communications management to financial management to information management, procurement management, quality assurance and controlling. All right. Resource management, risk management, schedule management, and scope management. The first ones, delivery, performance, sustainment, they're not, supporting activities actually. Okay. But there are overall activities like delivery, performance measurement, and the sustainment and program transition. Right. So then here you have the governance framework where you have the guidance on the program, reporting, and the plans updates. They all, feed into the core activities, which is the integration management of the program, and and therefore the components, whatever they will feed, the governance itself will feed into the components, which are also impacted by these different supporting program activities. Okay. If I go further, then it will start. You see, it will start with the delivery management. Okay. Now we are in performance. So here's program delivery management. Now we can read this. So what I recommend is when you see these major titles here, you see these major titles, same as I did, same as I did. By the way, these notes which I have shared with you here, I'm going to share them with you not in this format. I'm going to put them in a nice PDF with white background. It's just because my computer operates on dark mode because I have, it's calmer for my eyes. So that I put these in a nice PDF, and I will share them with whoever is interested. Okay. So here you see, I am on program delivery management here. Okay, so it explains what it includes, what's the role of the program manager. Always remember this. Always remember to understand the role of the program manager in every single thing that exists on this table of content, because the entire PGMP certification is about what should the program manager do. There are a couple of questions. I wouldn't say couple. There are few questions which ask probably about the project, about the program sponsor, program steering committee, program artifacts, program governance body. There are not too many, but still you need to understand them from the perspective of program manager. And I mentioned earlier that in many, many questions in the PGMP certification, it also puts you in a project situation. Please write this down. Write it down. Many questions in the PGMP exam put you in a project situation. You should never act as a project manager. You should never pick an answer that is supposed to be done by the project manager, unless if the question asks you, oh, the project manager doesn't know what to do. What should you recommend the project manager does? And then only in that type of questions, then you should answer, as if, or what the project manager should do actually. Otherwise, you have always to think overall as a program manager, as a program coordination, as a program manager seeking delivery of benefits out of a program. Or exactly, this is you need to think of. All right. So here you see, starting from here, the program activities. So just I'm jumping back to program activities. Okay, I'm jumping back. So here are we have program integration management, program definition phase, program delivery phase, and closure phase. So integration management is not a phase; it's just the integration work, how to integrate all the work of the program. All right. So these are the activities which I already have mentioned to you. Then the integration management, what is it about? Always pick whenever you're going through each of these different phases and pages, pick one sentence. Please don't copy entire paragraphs. You could see in my notes, I never copied any entire paragraph, never. I just take, the most important sentence after I read all of this part. Then I pick the most important sentence. Okay. Then this is the mapping table, by the way. Yes, it's a very important one. You have it in the presentation. You have it in our presentation. At the end of the presentation, this mapping of program management lifecycle phases and core support and activities. Okay, so here you have the life cycle of the program, the definition phase, the delivery phase, and the closure phase. By the way, please, again, if you're going to think, from the perspective of the project manager, this could be misleading for you. All right, because you'd be saying, okay, why from definition jumping right to delivery? Okay, so remember, in delivery, projects are created. In program delivery, projects are created, not in program definition or in program formulation. This definition is for the program. This delivery is for the projects. Okay? And this closure is for the program. Back to the program with a little bit of benefits transition. So really, you need to think, you need to have a close up look and, then have a helicopter view. And this is the most important table in this entire book. All right. So let me go through this with you, all right? Even though you will have it at the end of our presentation on session 7, because session 8 is going to be dedicated for a not full exam, but for an exam, 60 questions. So now here you have the 3 phases, and you have here the 2 sub phases of the definition, the formulation, and the planning. And you need to remember this by heart. Now, this is my absolute recommendation to you is to remember it by heart. You need to reproduce it by heart. The same, as um, the page 114 in the PMBOK 8. Okay, so therefore you need to remember this by heart. So here we have the program integration management as a core activity. Here we have the change management. Okay. Here we have the communications management, the financial management, the information management, the procurement management, the quality management, the resource management, the risk management, the schedule management, and the scope management. Now, this to some project managers who are already PMP certified, this sounds like performance domains, knowledge areas. Do you remember that knowledge area, those knowledge areas from PMBOK 6, the process guide, or as we call them now, the performance domains? Yes, yes. These are almost inspired from that because when this was released in 2024, we still had back then PMBOK 7 and 6 or the process guide. All right. So integration, change, communications, financials, and this is why, by the way, in PMBOK 8, we replaced cost by financials because it was already decided in the standard for program management. I can open a bracket if you want. I recommend you guys, in case you have a subscription on PMI membership, on PMI, go and download the business analysis. I don't know. The business analysis is still work in progress. Oh, no, wait, hang on. The new version is not released yet. Wait, I have the I have the draft of it. I have the draft of it. Uh, Only me. I have the draft of it. I think no one else in the world has got the draft of it. I'm not sure. Okay, I don't know, but I think it was not released yet. The actual practice guide. This is changing. This is going to be released at the end of this month. Okay. For business analyst, yeah, second edition. I think 2017. This one is from 2017. When was it? 2024. No, there'll be a newer version of it. Yeah, there's gonna be a newer version of it. Anyway, some books are very important for you to read, so they can complement your entire knowledge. So here then you have information management, procurement management, quality, and then resource risk, schedule and scope. Now let's go look at the program definition. In the formulation phase, formulation means kicking, the formalities, the official documents to define a program, all right, to start a program. So on integration level you have the program infrastructure development, okay, and then here when we go to this different activities here, you will see, or even on our training, you will see what happens at the program infrastructure development level. Okay, preparing all the infrastructure for the program, whatever it requires, whether it's physical infrastructure, whether it's any setups, etc. Then, planning the performance, the KPIs, the performance measurements, the metrics or matrices for measurements, etc. Then on the program planning, you're going to do the planning of the entire program. All right. And you go back to my notes when I will share them with you. You have some notes about program planning. And then again, program performance management, how to plan that. Then on program delivery there is program delivery management, program performance management, and benefit sustainment and program transition. And then on the program closure, there is the program closeout and the program performance management. Okay, so this is what happens on integration level overall. It's on the same mindset of integration as we had before in the PMBOK 8 or the process guide, which we call in PMBOK 8. So this in PMBOK 6, sorry, in PMBOK 6 and process guide, we call it integration, but in PMBOK 8, we call it governance. No more integration, we call it governance. Then there is the program change management. All right. So in the program definition here in the formulation subphase, you assess the program changes. Again, we will go through in details through that in one of the sessions. Then in program planning, you have the program change management planning, the how it will be integrated, the entire process. Then for program delivery, you have again, how to manage those changes, and then during closure, you have to transition the benefits. For program communications, here you're going to assess the communication needs, then you're going to plan how you're going to deliver those communications, meetings, reports, etc. And during delivery, you manage communications, the information distribution method, reporting, any benefits updates, especially to the on the benefits to the benefits register, etc. Then for financials, during formulation, you're going to have an initial cost estimation. During planning, you're going to make detailed cost, well, not really detailed, but program cost estimation, but not initial. Then, establish the financial framework, all right, for the program, the rules, etc. And then the financial management planning. And then during the program delivery, you're going to manage the program financials, the program cost budgeting, and the different cost estimation of the projects. The component cost estimation means you're going to estimate the budget or the cost of each component of each project. And then finally, you have to close the financials before closing the program. Already we saw that in the notes, in the summary notes. For information management, actually, it's the same, almost it repeats the same. So it's information management assessment, planning, management, and then transition of any important information or any important records. All right. And then for procurement, assessing the program procurement during formulation subphase of definition, then planning the procurement during the planning, and then conducting procurement in delivery and contract administration on component level. Some contracts, as we have explained last session, they are on a program level. For example, if the program contracts establishes a contract with a supplier, so there is a supplier with whom we establish a contract, but on a program level, all right? But sometimes some components have their own contracts, which is fine as long as it follows the program's governance and procurement management plan. Okay? Please remember that. Remember that always. Program is bigger than a project. So the project follows what the program says. And as we saw earlier in the notes, it is the program management office most of the time who defines the project management approach and methodology for the project. Okay? And then you have to close the procurements before you can close the program. Then the program quality, all right, for program quality during the formulation subphase, you have to assess the program quality needs. Then during planning, you plan how you're going to ensure quality on the different components. Then during delivery, you ensure the quality, you control the quality, and also you control the program overall quality. For the resources, so you estimate the program requirement, the resource requirements in terms of resources. Then you plan, the management of the resources. Then you get the resources during the delivery, and then during closure, you transition any resources in case they need to be transitioned. Okay. And then for program risk, so during formulation of the definition, you do initial risk assessment of the program, then you plan your risk management, then you do risk identification. This during planning. See, during planning of definition phase. All right. Then during delivery, all right, you're going to program, do your risk, on a component level, identification, analysis, response, and management, and also on a program level. And finally, as we saw in the notes, risks can be also transitioned in case any risks that are long term or they are remaining, then we transition them, those risks. All right. And then for schedule management, I think the longest part. Schedule management is almost the longest part in this life cycle of a program. Okay, you're going to have to during formulation to program the schedule assessment, set the benefits milestones, since the program doesn't have the same type of milestones as in a project, but rather milestones for when the benefits are supposed to be realized, how they're supposed to be realized, how to measure them so we can be sure that we have realized them. Then during planning, you will do the program schedule management plan, and during delivery, you're going to execute the program schedule, which is in short term the combination of the component schedules. Okay, and it depends whether it's going to be on a task level or on a work package level or on a milestone level. In practice, it depends on how you apply it. And for scope, you do program scope assessment during formulation. During planning, you do program scope, manage the planning, and then during delivery, you do program scope management or monitoring the scope. All right. So this table here, the mapping of the life cycle phases to the core and supporting activities, these are really important. This table is very important, so try to remember it by heart. By the way, this standard is full of figures, all right, are full of tables, figures, which are worth reading. Then we start with the definition phase activities here, all right. This is the first phase. So it's got two sub phases, the program formulation activities. We saw this already, and then the program planning activities. And here are the program planning activities. We will see all of these charts and graphs. We will see them in the next sessions. But I think so far, guys, I think from what I can see in some of the notes, I think many of you already started mapping the standard in their minds, how to read it, what is it about. So again, it starts with the principles. Okay, first it starts with the introduction, basic definitions, which we already saw in session 1. Okay, and then the principles. We already covered that in session 2. And then the performance domains as well. We covered the principles, the performance domains in session 2. Session 1, we covered the introduction. Session 2, principles and performance domain. And now starting session 4, which will be on Thursday, at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. GMT plus one. Okay. Then we're going to start in program activities. We're going to start with integration, then the different phases, because all of this will help us cover the program life cycle. All right. Um, and then here you have we go to the delivery phase. So we see just a couple of pages about the definition phase. Just really a couple of pages, not so many. All right. So this is definition phase. So just a little bit of text, then a figure, then this is the formulation subphase. Okay, and then the planning, and then figure, and then we go to the delivery phase. All right, with the supporting activities, how interaction, with the governance framework. All right, and then program delivery management, then benefit sustainment. This one. No, actually, before that, the performance management, sustainment of benefits and program transition, program change management, a little more, program communications management, program information management. All of these are core and supporting activities, by the way, remember, guys. Procurement management, quality assurance, quality control, resource management, program risk management, program schedule management, program scope management. All right. And then the closing phase. Here we arrived to the closing phase. Okay, so the program closeout, archiving the information, transitioning them, resource transition. Mm, where is that? Risk management transition, and then that's it. And then few appendixes. Uh, yeah, absolutely. You have to go through the appendix. Okay. Here, it summarizes, and also, it brings additional information to the different, let's say, activities we saw earlier, right? So actually, this is the biggest and most important part of the standard. And then if I go back just one step back, I just want to give you a glimpse on the standard, because many people were worried of reading the standard, that it will be too complex for them. Listen, the difference between the standard and the presentation is that the presentation uses visuals, uses pictures most of the time. The standard is mostly writing with a few figures, but even the figures, they're not very explanatory, but it's mostly writing. Our role, we read the standard word by word, and we have created for you this entire presentation. Okay. Some graphs are really interesting. You will see in our full presentation that we took actually many figures from the standard, because they were really important. All right. But then most of the slides we created them by ourselves. It's just I want to open the performance domain here, and I just gonna go to the life cycle management. Okay, because it's the most important part, which we will already cover. So this life cycle here, these few pages, you see the definition phase, delivery phase, the closure phase, then they will be explained later on in those activities. All right. So there's some of you would think there is repetition, because here we can see it starts with program formulation. It says what's in it. Then the program planning, it says what's in it. And then it goes to the delivery. After the planning, it should be the delivery. Yes, these are summaries. And then in the activities are the details. Okay. See, what I try to do here is I really try to simplify the standard for you. I did not want to complicate it. Okay. But guys, if you want to, let's say, succeed in the program management professional exam, here are my tips. Those those full exams we have in the companion, especially exams number 1 and 2, those are really a must, because they put you in the exact same question types as in the real exam. Um, so full exams number 1 and 2, they're cross domains, sometimes even cross multiple domains, not just two domains. All right. Remember, in the exam, there are 5 domains of the exam. The exam domains, not the 6 performance domains of the standard, but the 5 exam domains. Okay. Governance, stakeholders, life cycle, strategic alignment, etc. All right. So now, again, I repeat, if you would be able to have the mapping of the correct program phases, all right, and then what happened? Look, let me explain to you this. Let me probably put you back here. No, not here. No, actually, it's uh, it's already, I think, at the beginning. Yeah, at the beginning, exactly. Um, let me uh, let me take you back here, if you don't mind, because I really need for this last part of today's session. I need to put you in a context. And I will do just one last thing. So these are the principles. These are the principles, the life. Okay, wait. You have this in our full course. In our presentation, you have this slide. We will explain to you. Okay. Let me just quickly. We saw this. What is that life cycle? Wait. No, yeah, here it is. Yes. Look, guys. Look, guys. For me, this is an extremely important figure. Look, please pay attention to what I'm going to say. Almost half of the questions of the exam are going to check if you really understand what happens within each phase, within each sub-phase, what happens especially here. See this one in the middle? Program delivery, authorizing components, component oversight, and component transition and closure. Now, a lot of questions, I think 20%. I think 20% of the exam questions are about this part here. Please pay attention to this slide because I'm going to bring up again the ECO to put you in context, please. All right. Let me open the ECO next to that. Here's the ECO. And now in the ECO, let's go here, not here. Let's go to that summary table. Here it is, that summary table. All right. You see, we have 5 domains. We have strategic program alignment. We have the program, this program life cycle, the 44% is this part. It is this part. So you need to make a linkage. You need to link. You need to understand how to read this ECO and how to actually how to put this standard, how to put this entire standard here. Okay, especially have the bookmark. Please, when you read the standard, have the bookmark. How to put this entire standard parts inside this ECO. Remember, this is the most important thing you need to know when preparing for any certification exam from PMI. Okay, so here we have strategic program alignment, program life cycle management, benefits alignment, stakeholder engagement. This is the easiest part, the easiest one, and governance. Okay, now you see what you see here. It is supposed to be all covered in this slide here, right? It is all supposed to be covered here because when we're defining the program, we're setting the governance. When we're defining the program, we're identifying the stakeholders. So no, stay here. So see, stakeholder engagement, but stakeholder engagement happens during program definition, delivery, and closure. When you're ensuring strategic alignment of the program, this is happening also during program definition. Okay, how are you aligning this program? How is this program aligned or being aligned with the company strategy during the program definition from the beginning or even right before that, even right before? Okay. And then the last one is the benefits alignment. Okay. So these components here, you see, when we say component, we mean project. These components here, they deliver output. Output create value. Value lead to benefits. Okay, this is already summarized in one of the notes here in the notes about this entire standard. All right. So if you understand this, okay, what my recommendation to you is make sure you understand the program life cycle, how it functions, because this is already 44% of the exam. So it's a must to understand the program life cycle. Stakeholder engagement, that's very easy. If you are already PMP certified, you're going to get this right. Almost all of the questions, you're going to get them right. So 16%. So 170 times 16% is 27 questions. 27 questions about stakeholders which you can easily answer. Okay. If you are PMP certified. So you have to apply the same mindset. Now, for sure, once you understand the program lifecycle and the stakeholders engagement, the rest of the domains for the strategic alignment, for the benefits alignment, for the governance, you're going to get them from the principles. Okay, you're going to get them from the principles here, all right? And then also when you're going through the performance domains, because this is the theoretical part. Again, I'm always mentioning this in case you have time really to go through all of these. But if you don't have time, it's fine. Our presentation is enough. Okay? So I really do hope that now it's clear for you how to approach this standard for program management and how to map it. You know, you need to understand the ECO, and then once you read the standard, in case you want to read it, okay, then you need to, you know, have this bookmark table right next to you so you can follow through. And my last step before I close this subject, my last tip to you is really, really, guys, to try to memorize or at least visualize. If I wouldn't say memorize, at least visualize the table of contents of the standard. That will help you a lot. You know, being able to visualize this table of content of the entire standard, okay, together with these 5 domains of the exam, then you will have a clearer version, a clearer vision of what program management is about and what the exam is about. And finally, practicing at least 2 full exams in our companion, it will make you feel secure. One of you actually the other day asked me to take some questions from the audience, so I will try. I tried to take some questions the other day, but let's see. Let's see. Let's see if it's gonna work. So can you guys write a question so I can see if because all what I can see is yeah, who had the opportunity to check exams in the company? Hey, I haven't opened the questions yet. I said, please, the exams in the companion, they will be open or they will be available at the end of the training. What you will get for sure, in case you have filled out the code of session 1 in the form, and we will remind you of doing so tomorrow in the summary post. That code, filling it out correctly in the form, will grant you access to earn the certification. Please, I must be clear here. Filling out the code correctly of session 1 in the form, you go back to my LinkedIn profile, check that summary post I have shared. Um, I have shared, I think, 2 weeks ago. Oh, come on, this is still showing in Arabic. Yeah. So please, if you go to my LinkedIn profile, please, here's the summary post of session 1. Please, look, session 2, session 1. Here's the summary post of session 1. I have shared all the slides of session 1. The last slide, the last slide, it is the slide with the code. Here's the code. Okay, I'm not hiding it. I'm not hiding the code. Here's the slide with the code. What you need to do is you click on this form, you enter this code that qualifies you to have access to the certification of the training in the companion. That code When you fill out the code correctly, our team will give you access to the companion because anyway, in the companion, you will have the same layout for PGMP. Now, what you see is only PMP because the PGMP hasn't been completed yet. The development of the layout for PGMP isn't done yet. It is work in progress. I think it will be done by next week. I think, I'm not sure, but for sure, by the end of the training, you will have similar layout for the PGMP where you have about PGMP course, preparation plan for PGMP, exam readiness check for PGMP, and then these three are not PGMP related, they are overall. Earning PDUs, building CV, managing projects, that's for overall. Okay, but these first four steps, they will be PGMP as well, and you will have button to navigate between PMP, PGMP, but in case you have access to PMP. If not, then you will have only access to PGMP. Filling out the code, let me be clear, filling out this code in this form will grant you access in the PGMP to get the certification, the completion certification, because the companion, it issues the certification automatically. So how will you get the certification? You will find here PGMP course. So I click on it like on the PMP. You will have here the full 24-hour PGMP course. It's gonna be sort of videos. All the videos will be here. Now, once the companion detects that you have rewatched you have opened all of the videos, open them, you get automatic assurance of the certification. That's what you get from this program as promised. But then the full quizzes, that's not part of that code. That is not allowed by this code. Okay, that will be explained separately. Do we have the exams of PGMP, the companion? Yes, I already showed you the other day, but I'm doing it for those who have missed it. You see, here we have PGMP quizzes, we have PGMP, these are quizzes, these are PGMP full exams. One, two, three, and two more. Two more were created today in the CSV file, so they will be uploaded anytime during these days. So actually, we have the companion now full three PGMP exams, two more created today. So we're gonna have five full PGMP exams plus four PGMP quizzes, and these quizzes they were gonna be five at the end or six. I don't know as many chapters as we have because for each chapter there will be a quiz. So the quizzes are also per chapter and they will be renamed to include the chapter name. Okay. So this is just for you to know that we have them here, but you see, we haven't published them yet. So the toggle for publishing is deactivated. So we haven't published them yet. All right. Because this is, our admin panel where we manage exams, chapters, wrap up video. And oh, by the way, you're going to have a wrap up as well. Yes, that's included in your learning. Just for you to know, you're going to have a wrap up. Same for the PMP. Same for the PMP. You're going to have a wrap up actually. But the wrap up for PGMP is 3 hours, not 4 hours. So wrap up for PMP is 4 hours. PGMP 3 hours, CAPM 3 hours, and PMO 2 hours. So yes, you're gonna also have a wrap up. I think it's gonna be also 6 videos. It's gonna be 6 videos, one video per chapter, summarizing it in nearly half an hour. Okay, so instead of 3 hour video of each chapter, so we're gonna have 6 videos wrap up because some of you wouldn't be able to go through the entire 24-hour course of PGMP. So we want them to pass the exam, we want them to succeed. So we're going to create a wrap up summary for you. All right, this is a gift from us as well. The other day, one of you asked me a question. Ahmed, can you tell me why do I need to like and share the summary posts? Why do I have to do it? I said, please, we are investing a lot of effort in doing this for free for the love of information sharing. Isn't the minimum you can do is just like and share or repost so this can reach other community members? It's just, I mean, look, I'm going to be honest. I invested with my team a lot of money and time in this. Really, we had even external consultants working on this. Liking, sharing costs you zero. It's 2 seconds and $0, €0. So why don't you do it? It's gonna just, you see, it's an appreciation really for the efforts we do. That's it. All right, now please, I want to take some of your questions because this is session 3. I'm gonna take the questions in session 3, session 6, and at the end of session 8. I'm gonna do this 3 times. So I'm going to the with the newest ones. So, can anyone share where I find session 2, please? I encountered network trouble. Session 2 is going to be available only in the companion. Okay? Only the companion. Thank you. Just one question. If we need assistance with the exam registration process, would your team be able to assist or give advice? Yes, of course. This is what we already informed you in session 1. Difference between outcome, value, and benefit. Outcome, this is what results we get out of the output. So a project delivers output. The output gives outcome. Okay? The outcome is a value, and that value realizes benefit. I hope you got it right. You can watch the recording later on of this session so you can remember it. Do we no not I inserted this code. There is no code for session 2. There was code only for session 1. No code for session 2. Only session 1. You get the code right in the form so you can access the companion. No code for each session. All right? Is a program a temporary endeavor like a project? It was in one of those notes here from the standard. A program can be temporary or can be ongoing. Okay, it can be both. Most programs, of course, they have they have a start and end dates, but in practice they run for years. So not an endeavor, but because it's a program, it's not an endeavor. But it can be temporary, even though usually it can run for long. All right. I'm waiting for what? Okay, I don't know. Anyway, let's see if you have any other questions. Please, any other questions, guys? Come on, this is your chance. Please, do you have any technical questions? Do you have any logistics questions? Please, please, it's a chance. We still have time. Can you write your questions, guys? I hope I'm getting the latest comments because 261 people present and no questions. Unless if I have a problem and I'm not seeing all of the comments. Okay. Am I seeing all the comments? Am I seeing all the comments, guys? I can't join the companion despite I registered using the code. No, the code is not for the companion, and we haven't allowed anyone into the companion yet. Please, even if you have shared the code in the form, okay, you will get access to the companion if you have filled out the form correctly, if you have liked and shared the posts. You see, let me tell you something funny. Really, I mean funny. Look, I go to the forms. Okay, I have the PMBOK. No, I'm wrong. All right. I really hope that's clear. I really hope so much. Okay. Let's go check any questions. Will I be sharing the notes? Yes. Tomorrow I will be sharing the summary post of today's session. Go to that session, like it, share it, and then if you want to receive the notes, just leave there, Ahmed, please, I want the notes or share the notes. Okay. And I will share with you the notes one by one. All right. Let me check for any more questions. Okay, more questions. Wait, I like these questions. Wait. I like these questions. Who are you supporting tonight? I am supporting actually one of the teams, but I'm not gonna tell it now. No, I'm not gonna tell it, but I'm definitely supporting one of the teams. And I'm supporting one of the teams because actually my daughter lives in that country. So that's why I'm supporting one of those two teams because my daughter actually lives in one of those countries, two countries between France and Spain. Okay, I'm not going to say which countries. So I already answered this. Um, I work on project. The work is divided into three projects. You work on a program, you mean? The work is, I mean, the scope is divided into three projects, but they are all based on the same specifications and contribute to the same objective, but have three different budgets. Can this be considered a program? Well, look, let me read this correctly. I work on a program. The scope is divided into onto three projects, but they're all based on the same specifications. What do you mean by specifications? Like, the same character, the same needs, the same what exactly, and contribute to the same objective. Well, yes, if they have a common objective, I mean, each project will have each separate objective, but if they're part of a program, they should all contribute to the same overall goal, program goal, but three different budgets. Yes, this is a program. Yes. Do we have a program management template similar to the project management one? Emna, I like your question. Actually, our presentation contains in one of the last parts of the presentation is called templates. In our full course presentation, it's called templates. So you're going to have, I think, around 3 to 5 templates, which are commonly used in program management. So yes, you're going to have screenshots of those templates and their names. Then you can create on your own. Can we get some help in writing the program management application? We see, I did provide help for PMP, but for PGMP, I cannot. I cannot. It's a different process, PGMP, really, totally different process. You have to write it by yourself. Even ChatGPT or Claude, they won't be able to help you unless if you really you should do it by yourself, really. I mean, I recommend. By the way, several people already started getting approvals on their application for PGP. I love that. They send me screenshots. I love that. When an organization has a low maturity level in program management, what is your best advice for establishing an effective program governance board from scratch? Well, we go back to the basic definition of a program. Why do we have a program? We have a program because it ensures the delivery of the benefits when those projects are grouped together. If those projects were managed separately, we wouldn't get that maximum value or maximum benefits we can get compared to when they're grouped together. So you need to explain that to your organization. You tell them, look, in the past, we have managed these three projects separately, even though they were kind of related. These are the benefits we got out of each project. Now, these same initiatives, if we would manage them grouped together under one program umbrella, then these are the benefits we will get. And then you go back to one of those slides. I mean, I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to open the presentation, but I'm going to open this. Then you go back to this. Then you go back to this slide. Of, I don't know. Wait. Which slide is that? Was it in session two? No, it was in session two. Session one was about ECO. Then you go to that one of those slides. Wait, here. Wait. Yeah, this one. This one. Then you go back to that slide, this one, where we have explained why manage together. Why? How can we achieve? It's because of maybe shared customer data, because of maybe common technology being used, maybe because it's easier when the processes are integrated all together, and therefore they're smoother. Therefore, we eliminate waste. Maybe because of technical dependencies that need closer coordination, mainly because changes are unified and properly adopted into the program, etc., etc. Then you go back to this slide and you explain to your management or leadership, as is called in the program management standard, why you need to manage those projects into one program's umbrella. Okay. So this is my recommendation to you. All right. And then you can have a program governance board. As PMP certified February 2026, is it better that I take the exam with the new version? You cannot take the PMP exam. You get certified once in your life. You cannot take. You want to take the PMP exam? Let your PMP certification expire, wait for 1 year, and then take the exam again. You don't want to do that. Okay, but what you can do is just retake the course. Yes, you can go to the companion and get the course from the companion. Okay. What are the common job roles which support program managers before they obtain PGMP and go on to become program managers? Honestly, I tell you my path. I was project manager, then senior project manager. Then, as a senior project manager, I was managing large initiatives, which for me they were categorized or considered as programs, and therefore then I moved to program manager role. Is there any template in project company for filling out the PG? No, there isn't. I cannot do it. I cannot because it's really personalized. It's personalized for you. It's not like for the PMP is personalized, so I cannot do it. I recommend you do it. Really, forget about AI. Don't use AI. Even if you don't speak good English, don't use AI. Do it on your own. You should feel it. You should really describe it. But my recommendation, really, my small recommendation, don't create your PGMP application until at least either you finish the course with us or you go through this standard. At least one of these two. Either you finish the course with us or you go through the standard. So you can know what to write. So you need to write it in proper language, in correct language. Okay. Unless if you have worked as a program manager in a very well structured organization, like I did at IBM or at other organizations where we applied program management standards correctly. We will have 24-hour contact, yes, but we probably would need 35 for the exam. No, 30, no, we don't need. How do we do for the rest if we want to pass? No, you don't need to 35. 35 is for PMP. Okay, you get 24 for the PGMP. That's it. And by the way, there is no, it's not mandatory to get 24-hour training. It's just my initiative. It's just my initiative. Okay. Yes, you can use those for later on for PDUs in case you are already certified. What's the difference between program manager and a head of a product? For me, it could be the same thing depending on the organization structure. Thanks. No way. Head of product, they're leading the product life cycle. A program can be part of a program life cycle. Sorry, a program can be part of a product life cycle. Um, if I would open my PMP training presentation based on PMBOK 8, and if I would go to chapter 2, which is the system for value delivery. Oh, no, it's here. Yeah, look here. Look, this is the product life cycle. You see, this is the product. This is the product life cycle. Within that life cycle, there are programs, projects, etc. Okay, I think I have a better one. I think I have a better one. Yeah, here it is. This is a program life cycle. This is PMP, by the way. This is not program management. This is PMP. Okay. See, this is the program life cycle. You see all of it, and then there is program A. This is the product. Sorry, this is the product life cycle. Product, and inside that product life cycle, which spans over years and years, there is program A with a few projects and program B with few projects. So product life cycle with a product manager, or as you described, the head of product actually manages a larger structure than a program. And sometimes a program can also give have multiple products, because each component then will deliver a product. What areas or aspects of in PMP we should focus on studying PGMP preparation? How deeply? What tips you have? Stakeholders management, definitely. PMI's mindset, communication, conflict resolution. That's it. And the basic definitions. Basically, those of you who know my course, who studied my course, is a chapter. Now I'm talking about PMBOK 8. I forgot. I mean, you've studied all with PMBOK 7. So chapter 1, business environment, and that basic definitions part. And then chapter 2, stakeholders, and section 3, chapter 3, which is about communication, conflict resolution. Okay? Let me take other questions, please. Let me go down to 9 minutes ago. Wait, please, guys. Uh, wait. Yeah. Now, when someone doesn't have enough experience to take the certification, what would be your advice for them? I can probably say that I had an opportunity to manage something to close 12 months is not enough. You should have at least 48 months, at least 4 years of program management. So you can take PMO. You can take better. You can. We have a PMO course. You can take it. Okay. I want to thank you. My pleasure. So if I understood that we can see the recording session at the end of, yes. Once we complete the training, you can get access to the records in the company. When we were preparing for the PMP, we reviewed the training materials twice within 24, 48 hours to reinforce retention. Do you think applying the same approach would be beneficial for the certification as well? I cannot, because I told you the interface on the companion for PGMP is not ready. It is ready only for PMP. I don't have it ready for PGMP. My team is developing it. So I don't have the interface. Okay? So that's why, and I cannot share this publicly on YouTube, and I cannot put this on a drive and share the link. I don't want that. I want to be in an organized way on the companion. We spent way too much money. I mean, the money we spent on this companion could have bought me a nice car, to be honest. Okay, but I want to put everything on this platform. So just be patient, please. Another one, how many hours per day do we have to dedicate to this certification? I would say 2 hours. Really, if you are PMP certified, 2 hours Hijr are enough. Okay. Multiple phase of the same project can be used to transform program. Unless if each phase is considered a separate project, then we can have a program. You can access the exams at the end of the course. We will inform you how. We will inform you how you can get access. We will explain to you. Okay. In the middle, maybe you please give us example of a program. Please, instead of me giving you example of program, please watch the recording of session one. Please, it is available on YouTube. You have it on YouTube, okay? And even I share the link in this post here, and the summary post of session one. You see the full recording of session one. Here's the link. It's available on YouTube. Go watch it, okay? And you can have examples. Help us with tips and tricks for registration. Like I explained this. I cannot do this for PGMP and for PFMP. These two, I cannot do it. It's forbidden. It's totally forbidden, Wasim. Okay. Also, will be getting any certificate? Yes. Can a program have multiple budgets? It's one program budget, but then the components will have different budgets, the projects. Exam only in English, yes. And Chinese, if you speak Chinese. PMP certified, work in projects, but no experience in program. I'm following your training. Can I apply for the exam without program experience? Your application will not go through if you don't have 4-year program management experience. That answers it from both ways. Can we validate the 60 PDUs to renew PMP? Does it take a lot of time? No. Actually, you can go to the companion. You can have a lot of free PDUs in earn PDUs here, step 5. Earn PDUs, go, you can have a lot of free PDUs, free courses. Okay. You can even have a list of a lot of free courses from PMI, like PMI Essential 5 PDUs, Practical Generative AI 5 PDUs. You can have all of these free PDUs. Just go to the companion step 5. Step 5 is the companion earn PDUs. Okay. In modern project management, there is major shift towards value delivery. Yes. In your experience, does delivering ultimate value to the client supersedes the traditional constraints? Are they still equally critical? Yeah. Constraints, we can never, ever eliminate constraints. Ever. Elon Musk wants to run a world based on AI, so we stop having constraints. That's what he said. I mean, I know it's not true. I know it's not honest what he said. But that's what he said. We want to run everything on AI, so AI will work indefinitely without being tired, without any limitations. So we can have a lot of food, a lot of clothes, a lot of things, so humans can dedicate their time to their own things. And therefore, we wouldn't have constraints anymore, which is not true ever. We will always and forever have constraints. So value delivery is managed within those constraints. What techniques help ensure a program remains aligned with the organization strategy over time? Actually, we will see that in the full course, so you have to wait for it. Always like verification, validation. I'm asking this question here. Verification, validation, revisiting the business case by the program manager, having program check gates. All of those, we already saw some of them. We will see other ones to ensure program remains aligned. I'm certified, PMP certified, working on projects, but no experience. I think I said this. I always thought it was a single project divided into three parts, but after attending the second session of your course, good. I'm working as a PMO. Should I take the PMO certification of PgMP? I think both. Start with the start if you are PMP certified. If you are PMP certified, go for PgMP. It's easier. It's easier. PMP is a little tough. My colleague, she's famous on LinkedIn. She's PMP, PGMP, PFMP certified. She got all of those certifications easily. Funny point, she's struggling with the PMO now. PMO exam is tougher than the PGMP exam. Yeah, it's different. It's PMO. It's not like PGMP. PGMP, once you get the mindset, you can answer it correctly. Once you understand the life cycle, you can answer it correctly. But PMO, it's totally different. Not totally, but it's a really different thing. Really, I mean, PMO as a service provider is different. I'm PMO certified, okay, and I can tell you it's really tougher. Um, Even though it's less questions, but it's definitely tougher. How to move to program management in any organization, and what is the experience needed to manage different projects at the same time? Well, let's start with managing projects at the same time. All what you need is time. If you are really a strong project manager, all what you need is time. Um, Depending if those projects are related or not, but all what you need is time, and how, really about managing your time, if you have multiple initiatives. How to move to program manager? You need to manage a couple of large projects, really large, complex projects with many stakeholders involved, with, defined project phases, complex ones. There should be stage gates or stage or gate reviews within each project life cycle, and then you can become a program manager. So product is equal to portfolio? No, it's not. But a portfolio, no, it's not. I mean, duration-wise, maybe, but they're not the same thing. What are the dynamics with project and program governance with competing stakeholder interests? See, when you set the program governance, you set it regardless of those competing interests. So first you set the program governance, and then according to that governance, you're going to manage those conflicts of interests. Okay? Let me go down to wait, wait. Okay, I answered this. In your experience, what is the hardest part of transitioning from a senior project manager mindset to a program manager mindset? You really need to know that the program is supposed to be on a strategic level, to be aligned with the organization's objectives. And you, as a program manager, you're oversighting a number of projects in a synchronized way, because that's the only way how to maximize the benefits. If you understand this sentence, you become a program manager. And one last thing, as a program manager, you need to report. You need to know how to report on all the program components. I want to ask if you have promo code for Pima. Yes, we shared the lean. We shared already our prices. We have the lowest prices on earth. I'm kidding. Almost the lowest prices on earth for any PMI certification. So just reach out to me directly on WhatsApp, and I will tell you. I will need first to check your citizenship, and based on your citizenship, I will tell you what is the lowest price you can get for a PGMP or any PMI exam. Or you can have that in the recording of session one. Here, you go to watch the recording of session one, or even here in the presentation, actually. Even here in the presentation, it should show. Yeah, here it is. Here it shows the prices per zone. So this is zone A, Canada, USA, European Union countries, Gulf countries. Here's the price in euros or in dollars. Okay, if you don't have membership, so you need membership, or if you are already member, this is what you pay. And then for zone B, like, Latin America, some Asian countries, some European countries like Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, some African countries like South Africa. Here are the prices in case you need membership and in case you are a member. And then for zone C, like North Africa, like Middle East countries, some of the poorest European countries, some of the Gulf countries like Yemen, rest of Africa, rest of Latin America. Here are the prices which you need to pay in case you have membership, in case you don't need, in case you have membership, and in case you don't have membership. And again, those are indicative prices. Final prices can be lower, maybe higher, depending on the exchange rate of the dollar. Okay, so anyone interested, reach out to me directly on WhatsApp. Okay. Official PGP exam price conditions. I just shared that. Again, watch the recording. Watch the recording, you get the answer. Okay. I'm managing multiple related projects for data center digital reality within Europe. The objective is to standardize the medium voltage protection. Can we call? Yes, but you should not be managing the projects by yourself. You should not be managing the projects by yourself. There should be a project manager for each project because you are a program manager. You need to manage those project managers. You cannot be managing those projects by yourself. Yes. Yes, you will have. I explained that. Please follow my posts on LinkedIn. Follow what I share in the group. You get all the answers. Can we use these 24? Yes, you can. For PMOCP, I mean, no. For PMOCP, you need to prove that you had PMO course. Because these 24, unless if you are PMOCP certified and you want to renew, then that's fine. But if you are not PMOCP certified yet, then you need to have a dedicated PMO course, and we have that. You can contact us for that. Why we write PGMP, not PGMP, is it's just the way PMI writes it because I also PFMP with a lowercase f, so it's just the way they write it. What governance structures are most effective for large complex programs? Oh, we're gonna see that in details. So we're gonna go through that in details. Okay, but governance structures where everything is clear. Now, managing changes, reporting on performance. We already saw part of that in session 2, and we're gonna come back to that as well. Is there any wrap up for the P? Yes, 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 yes. I already mentioned that. I mean, for PMP, we have already a wrap up section in the companion. Here it is. Step 2, wrap up course, 4 hours. We're going to have the same for PGMP. Okay. And let's take the last batch of questions. These last batch of questions. If I have the PMP certification, can I get opportunity in the company I'm working to practice? I don't know. Ask your company. I mean, yeah. I mean, ask them. Yeah, if you, yeah. I mean, with PMP certification, it can open doors for you. On Friday, one lady. No, no, not Friday. Sorry. On Tuesday, right before the change of the PMBOK version, of the PMP exam version, one lady got certified. On Tuesday, on Friday, she was offered the people management position. She thanked me today. She called me. She was so happy. That's the PMP effect. If I'm a PM, if I move to PGMP position, program management, how much salary? I don't know. I don't know. It depends on the company. It depends on the appreciation of the role. Usually, you should get at least 1.5 time raise. Well, you're welcome. Thank you too. India is not mentioned. Yeah, we have a special price for India. India is the only country with a special price. Okay. So please, anyone from India, contact us. India is the only country with a special price. Okay. Because it's counted differently. So please contact us directly and we can explain to you how much is the price for India. It's the only country with a special price. All right. Discount. Yes, we have. No, I mean, it's not discount. We have low prices because we have a special agreement. That's it. Okay, we are ATP. We have that special agreement through ATP. We have those. Sorry, we have those lower prices through ATP agreement. So that's why we have lower prices. There is no discount voucher, but we offer at lower prices. When will PGMP? I don't know. Sixth edition? I don't know. Come on, 2024 was the fifth. I think 2029 or 2028, maybe, or maybe later. How many codes will be shared? Just one code for session one. That's it. No more codes. Yeah, and that's it. All right, guys. Now, I really thank you so much for your attention, for your participation. Thank you for your support. Really, we do this with love. Please support us with love. Okay? It will always encourage us to do more in the future and to give more. Remember, we will always share generously with you as much as we can. So we reached the end of this session. Thank you so much, everyone. See you on Thursday.